Let's, of course, start off the conversation by telling you that Kogi State government is currently led by Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo, who has been working on various initiatives to improve the state's economy, infrastructure, and social services for the benefit of the people. Now, for instance, the governor aims to boost the state's economy through strategic planning, investment promotion, and also job creation. Kogi State is rich in natural resources, including crude oil, and has a strong agricultural sector with crops like coffee, cashew, and cocoa. Of course, joining me to speak more on this and how the state is addressing its challenges is Kingsley Fanwo, who is the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kogi State. He joins virtually. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, Chair, for having me. Thank you, viewers around the world.
All right. Let's start off this conversation by looking at the efforts, at which the government of Kogi State, since the new administration started, has been trying to better the lives of the citizens, right? We know that there have been efforts in the area of infrastructure, in the area of, empowerment. I would like you to just, quickly breeze us through some of the achievements so far.
Thank you very much. As you are aware, the administration of the Chief Servant of Kogi State, His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, came with a very clear vision, the vision to continue the laudable projects of the immediate past administration, and also to consolidate by initiating new programs, policies, and projects that will impact on the lives of the people. And when you talk about achievement generally, you can talk about capital projects and you talk about human capital development. So when you talk about capital projects, you talk about the roads. A lot of road projects have been put in place by the administration. Very important roads across the state, not just at the state capital, but also across the state. Then when you talk about educational infrastructure, the administration has pumped billions of naira to improve infrastructure in our schools, right from the primary schools to the secondary schools to the tertiary institutions across the state. And, we are currently remodeling close to 400 primary healthcare centers across the state to enable them to be able to perform secondary healthcare services and to be able to cater for the needs of the people at the grassroots. In agriculture, you would see that just in a matter of 9 months, we're able to reduce food inflation in the state through deliberate policies that empower farmers across the state to be able to produce massively. And I will tell you that more than in last year alone, over 60 billion worth of cashew left the shores of the state, and we remain the #1 cashew producer in Nigeria. We're also doing the same with cassava. And we are opening up a lot of other initiatives to empower our youth through training and empowerment. As you are aware, hundreds of youths were currently trained at our Korea Institute in the state to be able to provide services for the burgeoning in industrialization that we're experiencing in the state. They were not just trained, the state government trained them and also equipped them with their kits to be able to render services and be able to stand on their own and contribute to the economy of the state. And you will see that through our deliberate policies on security, we have been able to attract a lot of industries into the state. In the life of the current administration, one of the largest cement factory in Nigeria, Manga Cement, also came into being, and they've started production and distribution across the country. So these are some of the things that the administration has been able to achieve. I can go on and on and on. 30 minutes would never be enough to talk about the local achievements of the present administration.
All right. You just gave us some sort of bird's eye view as to some of the achievements so far. But let's also talk about the utilization of the federal, account allocation committee. That's the fact, and how, of course, this allocation to Kogi State, has been utilized. Please feel free to correct me if, of course, I might be wrong. I know that a little over 1 trillion naira, was being disbursed to the government. Like I said, if of course I'm wrong there, you might just want to correct. But about 1.578 trillion naira sometime in March this year, Kogi State did get as federal allocation. Now, we know that there are about 21 local governments. How has this money been used to better the lives of residents across these local governments?
Thank you very much. I think you will need to clarify the figures you just put out. We are talking about trillion naira to a single state.
That's why I said maybe you might just want to, put it in perspective for me. How much does Kogi State get from federal allocation?
State Nigeria. Maybe you are talking about what was distributed by by the 36 states and the 774 local government councils. Our monthly allocation, everything about one thing that this administration decided to do, part of the continuity agenda, but we are consolidating and doing it in a very different way. We have an anti-graft agency that has been very effective in the state. And we also have anti-graft policies, especially as it affects the issue of public accountability and transparency. So everything about the state could be found in the official website of the state. We put it there for the citizens to see. Those funds don't belong to the governor or to government officials, they belong to the people of Kogi State. And under this administration, we have shown immense commitment to ensure that the people of Kogi State are part of the decisions. Because when you look at the State Ministry of Finance, under the leadership of the experienced Commissioner of Finance of the state, you will see that citizens' engagement has been very constant. We sit down with the citizens to look at the budget, have we performed, which area are we going to look at the following year. This has been what we have been doing in the state. And I would say that it is open, it's something that is very clear. The allocation of the state on monthly basis has been between 9 to 10 billion naira. And, because of the new minimum wage that we are one of the first states to start implementing because of our commitment to workers' welfare, we are paying over 6.2 billion to workers of the state from this allocation. And the remaining goes to capital projects. And that is why we are showing a lot of determination, a lot of commitment to drive internally generated revenue to be able to augment what we have from the federal allocation. We don't want to be living on federal allocation. As a state, we are viable enough to generate what is enough to drive our development plan, our 30-year development plan in the state. And that is why we have been very strategic in improving internally generated revenue in the states.
All right, thank you for of course, shedding light on that. I take that back. I know that, I've just been fed right now with some details as regards how much the state gets. But now let's move to the issue, another pivotal issue. And this, of course, is for clarity's sake as regards the news that we are getting that there seems to be some sort of ban on fishing and also, will I call it public gathering? I would like you to bring us up to speed, if at all there is anything like that, and why. Are there security concerns?
Yes, as at the time we placed the ban, there were security concerns. There were a lot of disagreements and crises surrounding fish ponds in certain local government areas, leading to the death of certain people. And, as a responsible government that wants to protect our citizens, at that point, we had to impose ban on the issue of fishing in those areas. Acting on intelligence also, we were told that some kind of crisis will emanate from public gathering and procession. So to protect the people, we had to impose that ban at that time.
Let's talk of the issue of illegal mining too, that is not just peculiar to a state like Kogi State. We also have all that going on in places like Zamfara and all. How is the state government addressing this problem?
Thank you very much. Let me commend the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals for the initiative of having guards to ensure the enforcement of mining laws and regulations in the country. Kogi State, being a subnational, is cooperating to ensure that these policies are put into place. But in our of illegal mining in the state, because when there are illegal minings, it is a recipe for insecurity. Because you have a lot of people bringing arms into the state. We want to be part of these engagements, of these processes that will bring miners to the state. And we want miners to also have interface with the state government. If they are coming to mine in Kogi State, you know, in not undermine our security, we want to have an interface engagement with you, and also we'll be able to sit down to say, okay, this is how we are going to guarantee the security of those that will work with you, and the security of the people where the mining will be taking place.
I mean, talking about interface, does this also capture the report that we have that the Kogi State government, you know, acquired about 15 mining licenses to regulate the industry, and also plans to train about 25,000 youths, you know, in that sector? You know, is there any arrangement like that?
Yes, this conversation started in the immediate past administration, but the Ododo administration has deepened the conversation and has taken both steps of registering companies that will also participate in the mining sector, in the solid minerals sector. Kogi State is blessed with more than 30 solid minerals of commercial quantities. That's why you have the likes of Dangote, Mangal, Unicane, and a lot of other companies that are using some of our solid minerals in the state. So we want to participate as a state. Yes, if private individuals could obtain license to participate, then we can also safeguard the economic interests of the people of Kogi State by participating. By so doing, we'll be able to increase our internally generated revenue. It is a part of the conversation that I want us to have, because we want to boil up the revenue of the state in such a way that the state does not depend on the federal allocations anymore. We are strategically positioned. We are blessed with solid minerals. We are blessed with good land. We are blessed with water bodies. So we have all it takes to be able to not just fend for the economic interest of the people of Kogi State, but the entire Nigerian people. Kogi is that blessed. So for us to be able to tap into this blessing and have what we call the shared prosperity agenda of the administration, we have decided to also participate in that mining field. And that's why you see the governor going from one, strategically moving from one investing group to the other. We've been to Qatar, we've been to China, and we're having very fruitful conversation. We are ready to partner with all of these people to be able to put Kogi on the mining map of the globe.
All right, let's focus also right now on, you know, a big elephant in the room, and that has to do with security. We know that it appears there's the activities of the Boko Haram and terrorists and what have you seems to be gradually, you know, stepping up and teaming up. As a government that is responsible to its people, what are you doing to fight back and ensure safety, particularly around your border towns?
Thank you very much. This is a very critical part of what the Ododo administration is all about. It is very critical that we ensure security. It is the number one responsibility of any responsible government. And we are aware of all the pushback from the northeast, from the northwest, and how they are finding the north central as where they are moving to right now. But, you know, we are bothered by about 10 other states, including the Federal Capital Territory. And we know that it is our responsibility to ensure security in the states, the security of our people, and to also collaborate with the neighboring states to be able to guarantee the security of the North Central. So this is very critical, and the administration is investing heavily. We are doing what we call bottom to the top approach to security, where we are empowering our local hunters, the local vigilante, to be the first line of defense every community in Kogi State now has the first line of defense before we call in the conventional security operatives. These hunters, these vigilantes were well trained by officers of conventional security agencies to be able to observe the standards of engagement and the rules of engagement. So it is something that's working magic in the state. I will also say that we are very grateful to the Office of the National Security Advisor, the service chiefs in the country, for their continuous support in ensuring that we bombard these enemies of the state and ensure that they don't find any comfort in our territory. It is something that is working very well for the state. We are grateful to the President and Commander-in-Chief and to all the chiefs, the National Security Advisor, for all they are doing to ensure that Kogi State is safe. Statistically, I would say that despite the very huge challenge of having these people from the Northwest and the Northeast, we are doing a lot to ensure that Kogi remains a very safe place. A lot of strategies are being implemented in the state. We will not be able to discuss some of these strategies on the national television, but assuming those outlaws have the opportunity to come on television, they will tell you that they are not finding it funny in Kogi State. And it's not just about not finding it funny. We will continue to bombard them. We will continue to make Kogi uncomfortable for them. The governor is not going to spare any resource in ensuring that this is achieved.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. Once we return, we'll definitely continue. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. I still have the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kogi State, as my guest this evening. Mr. Kingsley Fanwo, thank you for your time. Before I let you go, just a quick one. I know that on this program, the last time we had a conversation, particularly around the suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti, she had a homecoming, and some issues were raised. You said on this program that the Kogi State government, particularly when she raised the issue of threat to a safety, that she would have a days in court. What's the update to that?
Thank you very much. You know, each time you raise this question, we we always have this joke around it. The conversation here, we want to talk about development, we want to talk about our IGR, and we want to talk about the development in the states. Whatever the suspended senator might be going through, I think it's just for her to deal with it. She's an adult, and she will deal with that. We don't, as a government, we don't have any business with whatever travails or whatever she might be going through. I think legally a lot of issues are going on, and they are dealing with the issues in the law courts. So we should not come and deal with it on the TV set here. Let the courts take those decisions.
I mean, the question I just want to what I'm asking is, have you taken legal steps already? Because you said you will.
Definitely, it is a violation, but we would have to. It is a government, and we go through a lot of processes. We have a very strong legal department. We have a very strong justice ministry. They will look at all of those things and then advise on when to take those legal actions. So we are waiting for them. But you don't push somebody that is already inside the water into the water. So I think we would not want to do that. It's not wise because somebody is already in the water, is battling. Maybe he or she is not a very good swimmer, and you are still push him or her into the water again. He's already in the water. So let him or her deal with the water first. If he or she is able to come out, then we'll be thinking about pushing anyone into the water.
All right, just finally, let's talk about the state's IGR in 30 seconds. We know that aside, allocation, the state is also ramping up efforts to boost its internal revenue. In 30 seconds, sir, what's up with that?
I don't know why you are giving me 30 seconds for this, and you are giving me a whole lot of time to discuss what was not important. Okay, The IGR of the state in 2015 was 6 billion naira. Then the government was operating in a four-bedroom flat as the revenue house. When Alhaji Yahya Bello came in, we had a very good corporate office, and the first year we hit 9 billion. Last year, we did, in 2023 we did 27 billion. Last year we did 32 billion. This year in the first quarter we've done well over 10 billion. So we are hoping to beat 40 billion this year. So that is what we are doing, because when you look at the Kogi State Internal Revenue Service, you'll see that the leadership of that service under the executive chairman, Alhaji Salih Sule, they have put a lot of corporate governance processes into the place and fully digitized the entire processes. Is fully automated. So fraud is very difficult right now, and that is why you could see that we are able to generate more revenue into the coffers of the state. And most importantly, the governor had given the free hand to the chairman of the KGRS. The political support is there. We are not politicizing IGR, and that's why when you look at the infrastructural maintenance levy (IML), last year IML did about 42 to 45 million. This year it is rising to over 300 million. That's over 600%.
All right, Mr.
We are showing the political will, and we are doing a lot of engagement, and engaging traditional rulers, engaging unions, engaging market women traders to ensure that we're able to rake in all of this revenue to boost our capacity and capability to deliver on the mandate and the promise given by the government.
All right, thank you so much for your time. It's been a privilege having you on the program, and of course we hope to have you again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, and I hope I will have to come back to discuss this issue of IGR again.
Thank you. Definitely would avail you that opportunity.